Hi, I'm Martyn, and welcome to the PopBucket Podcast. With me today is Michael.
Hello.
Zara.
Hi.
And James.
Hello.
So, you all been keeping well the last few weeks? Been up to much?
Yeah, not too bad.
Jolly good. Good to hear the team's happy.
That's got the bonding bit out the way.
Yeah, the small talk's done now.
Yeah, I can't do any more, that's it.
So, what's any good films, anyone? Shows, games?
I've been playing Defiance, actually.
Playing Defiance
and watching Defiance, actually.
Cool.
But I'm more keen to talk about playing Defiance, if I'm honest, because
that's okay.
I read some. Yeah, well, our review copy never surfaced, which not a bad thing. I've read some sort of reviews since it came out, and for the most part, they were pretty damning.
Really?
But I kind of I don't make the investment very often on games that have gotten 6s and 7s. But I thought I'd give it a chance because I thought it had some potential, and my little gambles paid off. Actually, I'm really impressed with it. I've been quite enjoying it for the last couple of weeks. In fact, it's not really left my disc tray since I bought it.
Oh wow! Well, that's proof enough that it's good. If it's been keeping everything else out of your disc tray. I mean, what's the background, just for people who might not have played it?
The background is it's basically it's been labelled an MMO for consoles, so it's the first sort of major, massively multiplayer online game for consoles. Yeah. Now the story behind it is kind of your pretty standard sci-fi. A variety of alien races have come to Earth for various reasons. I think their solar system is being destroyed or something, and there's sort of these kind of warring kind of factions. So the aliens and the humans are not getting on as well as they might.
Yeah.
But on top of that, you've had this huge cataclysm, this event called the Arcfall, which is kind of transformed quite a lot of the world into pretty inhospitable sort of terrain. So you've got all these giant bugs that have turned up, and weird plants, and weather and things like that. So you're basically a guy whose job it is to find alien technology that's fallen from the sky.
Oh right.
So you spend quite a lot of time sort of hunting for these. They're called Arcfall events. So these are kind of probably the major events in the game. They're these sort of huge pieces of technology have fallen from the sky, and for one reason or another, they attract all kinds of horrible things. So like bugs and survivors that are sort of like bandit type guys. And to get these things, you have to take on either a sort of a series of enemies or sort of one giant enemy like a big boss. And that's where the massive sort of multiplayer bit comes in, because in order to do them, you need more than sort of 50 people to sort of take down these just probably
that many.
Yeah, some of the biggest bosses I've seen in gaming, actually. It's really funny. You're stood sort of side by side with like 100 plus sort of guys and girls just chugging away at this.
That does sound fun, yeah.
And that's quite a different thing to most massive multiplayers, because you can't tend to get that many people taking on one boss.
And it works really well. Like I thought, the performance will probably suffer pretty horrendously with that many things going on screen. But to be honest, I've not really noticed that much sort of degradation in terms of the graphics or the running. But I mean, it's not the most social MMO. I don't know much about sort of the MMO kind of culture, but it strikes me as kind of, I think there's social aspects that you can get embroiled in if you want to. You can join clans and things. Or you can just be, a sort of lone ranger and do your own thing. But it's, I've been really impressed with it so far.
Cool.
Has anyone else played it or seen footage? Or
I've seen. Sorry, Zara.
No, I was just saying no.
No.
Yeah, pretty much the same as you guys. But I saw the trailer for it. As I say, I might have mentioned that before, where you have the massive monster emerging out of the ground, and it was like like cinematic footage, so proper scripted, acted with real people, and it had the distinction of being the only YouTube advert that I haven't skipped when I had the chance to in like the last 7 months, because it was really impressive.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, I really want to bang the drum for it because it's got I think it was a 5.7 or something on Metacritic, and I think that's only 1 point more than sort of Dead Island Riptide.
Yeah.
But in terms of playability, I mean, they're just worlds apart, really. I mean, you know what I thought of Riptide. And you know how long it stayed in my disc tray. But yeah, Defiance it's a good one. I think, in terms of sort of setting the standard for what MMOs could be, it's pretty fantastic, and I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah, well, that's popped up on my radar. I'm aware of it, and I've watched a half-hour TV show, but we turned it off. It wasn't our cup of tea, me and Sophie.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of Game of Thrones with aliens, isn't it? It's sort of
but well, you sort of sold it to me, James.
Yeah, you're a Borderlands fan. I know this.
I very much enjoy Borderlands too. So
for me, this is a Borderlands meets sort of Mass Effect meets I don't know, Dynasty Warriors or something like that.
Those are all things that I like. So, I mean, this is very much selling it to me as well.
Yeah. It's got a lot going for it, actually. I was very impressed. We might be doing potentially some video capture for the site as well with the Stop Drop Gaming guys.
Oh,
we
that's
talked
cool.
about it, so you keep an eye out for that. Listeners at home, you might see some stuff.
That'd be good, yeah.
You might not.
So, that's cool. Zara, have you been outstanded by a film recently?
I haven't actually watched any films recently. I did play a really, really small, tiny amount of Sleeping Dogs last week.
Pork bun.
And for some reason I was really craving pork buns, and I just don't get why. I thought that was really good. I only played it for like 2 hours or something when I was looking after the hamster, which, by the way, is alive. So that is a good point for me. I didn't kill the poor hamster while she was under my care. So shout out to Sesame, but anyway, I thought that was really good. I thought it was, it's just literally, I thought it was just like, like a GTA in Hong Kong, which is more combat and stuff. But
it took me ages to realise that it's actually done by the guys that did True Crime. Because I sort of thought of it when I started playing it. I was like, oh, it's just like the old True Crime games. And it took me months and months to realise that it was actually the same guys. But it feels to me a bit like Shenmue as well, which I loved.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyone play Shenmue on the Dreamcast?
No, but I mean, it's held in really high regard by like the gaming community, because like anytime I come across an article, they're like, "Oh, please make a third one." I think there's been like 2 so far, and then Sega kind of tanked, didn't they, as a hardware manufacturer? And so
there's been a few campaigns, hasn't there, for Shenmue HD and the Shenmue collection and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that.
But I mean, what's the tone of Sleeping Dogs like? Because it sounds like it's got quite a fantastical kind of element to it, from what I've heard.
It's quite realistic. They've had some funny sort of DLC, which has been like vampires and stuff and zombies.
Yeah.
But the original game is pretty serious. You're like an undercover cop who's like infiltrating the triad. I think it's a triad. Is it a triad, Zara?
It is.
Yeah, I think so.
Eating sort of pork bun and using your sort of kung fu skills to take down the bosses. But
the only thing that I thought was weird, when I was looking at all the characters in it, I know they're obviously supposed to be like the triad and all that kind of stuff. I was thinking, I've never seen someone like Oriental who is that hench. Personally, I just haven't. So, and I was Googling it, and I can't find any famous, like, really stupid things to talk about, but like a famous, like, because when you think of like actors and stuff who are like famous, you always think of like Jet Li, and you think of Jackie Chan and stuff, and none of them are really like built hench like the people. I know it's a video game and I shouldn't compare, but I was thinking, where are these people?
Is it Wei? Do you think Wei Shen's like too buff or like
bulky, or
they were all just really bulky, I thought.
Yeah,
some of them are like, what's that guy? Is it Winston? Like Winston, sort of. He's like 7 foot tall and pretty stout.
I just thought it was. I was shocked. I'm not going to lie. I was shocked.
But body types aside, you had fun.
Yes, for the 2 hours that I played it, I did have fun. But I got really agitated because I was trying to. I've got issues with pressing buttons when it comes to fighting and stuff, because obviously in that game you have to press a certain amount of buttons and it will do, you know, a certain move or whatever. And I'm so into like Street Fighter mode when I start doing things like that, where I'll just bash everything and then I wonder why things don't work. And I'm like, I'm not doing it properly. It probably took me like the best part of like 10 minutes just to get past the first bit, where it's just trying to show you that you can crush people under electrical boxes and stuff. And I was like, why isn't this working?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's a lot kind of more controlled, isn't it? It's a bit like Assassin's Creed in terms of like you've got the counters and the melee system. It's all about kind of timing, isn't it? Whereas like, I don't know, some games are sort of, it's quite heavy on the combos, isn't it? But what I liked about Sleeping Dogs was it could have easily been like a sort of GTA clone. But they've taken the focus right off the sort of gunplay and sort of zeroed in on the kind of kung fu fighting and all the different sort of moves you can do. And some of the finishes are pretty brutal, Michael. Like you can kind of grab a guy's head and, you know, push it into a fan, or pick someone up and impale them on a swordfish, and like it's just like
on a swordfish. Wow.
Yeah. It's got some pretty ludicrous finishes.
That does sound pretty sweet. Like
it's interesting though.
Yeah. It's like a talking point. It's like a moment that happens in the mission, like in GTA. Like you can go around doing the missions boring in GTA, or you can, I don't know, dress up in a maroon tracksuit and do a drive-by on someone while riding on a golf cart.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah,
I like games that let you be ridiculous within their game world, and Sleeping Dogs sounds like one of those games that lets you do that. So. I might give it a look, but then having said that, I say I might give it a look about 15 million games. I never end up playing them because there's so many games that look interesting. Like Blood Dragon really interests me from the trailer, right? That is possibly, I saw the trailer and I had a fanboy explosion, which I can only
bump that did it for you.
Yeah, I think it was. No, because like they had like a 1980s style cartoon that they like advertised it with if you go on the site. And it was done in the style of like the old Transformers cartoons, and
it was a bit sort of like He-Man-y, wasn't it?
Masters, that whole Masters of the Universe vibe. And that was cool. And the fact that it is just like a stupid 1980s style action movie type game, and it's got no pretense. It's not trying to tell a clever story. It's not trying to be. Once in a while, I just want to play a dumb action movie where the guy sticks his middle finger up after he's blown up some barrels, and that looks like what they're delivering with a really cool soundtrack. That I'm not gonna, want to start anything, but sounds a lot like the Mass Effect soundtrack.
Yeah, it seemed to me like a kind of game that makes no apology for having a dinosaur that fires lasers.
Nor should you ever have to apologise for that. That is awesome.
You went to the event, didn't you, Martyn, with the cyborgs and the lasers?
Yeah, there was. I felt sorry for the cyborgs. In fact, they're having a good talk. I got to play with a game, but there are two guys there, and like look like motorbike levers and a helmet, and it was in like a nightclub with lasers going on, and it's like I was hot in a t-shirt and jeans, let alone levers.
Oh god!
And with a helmet on, so I did feel sorry for that guy, but I played like the first 15 minutes of the game, and it's spot on with the vibe. It parodies itself and games in general.
Yeah,
it's just the soundtrack. It's just goes all out.
I might just get the soundtrack. I was thinking
you can download that. Yeah. It is available to buy.
Because that is, I mean, although it sounds very much like a soundtrack of another popular game, it is very good soundtrack in its own right. So I might, add that to my sci-fi track listing.
I've only just started playing in the last couple of weeks Far Cry 3. In fact, Far Cry got usurped by Defiance. Controversial, but but I thought what I've seen of Far Cry 3 so far is just phenomenal. Like the opening gambit, I know Martyn's played it. I don't know if you guys have. I won't spoil too much.
I haven't played it. I've read quite a lot of articles about it, but
the first 5 minutes I just thought wow, and then I stopped playing and went and listened to Paper Planes by MIA. But but yeah, I mean, just like in terms of actually the kind of systems for I guess it's kind of similar to Assassin's Creed in that you're taking over radio towers and sort of occupying bases, I suppose.
Okay.
And Assassin's Creed, that kind of taking over the towers and stuff kind of opens up the map a bit. So it's got that vibe. You're kind of it's all about exploration and experimentation.
On the downside, I did hear that the multiplayer kind of dried up quite quickly in terms of people who were on. In terms of getting a game.
It yet, actually.
Right.
It can do.
Yeah.
With quite a few games, apart from like Call of Duty, FIFA, there's some games that no matter how hard and how good they are, people do drop off when the next release comes out, which is a shame.
Or EA.
The time and effort.
Or EA turn the servers off, which is
There's a lot of love out there for EA.
But I know the last Far Cry 2, the multiplayer, it had a lot of potential because you could do sort of create your own levels, so you could sort of just like terraform a level like to your own design.
I have to confess, I had quite a lot of fun doing that, and just like creating massive levels with speedboats on them and like putting a minigun in it, but having it underwater and stuff. And
my favourite one was a tiny cube, like a squared circle filled with grass and a bit of fire. That really kind of spiced up the multiplayer. You sort of
having a hazard
that's on fire. Yeah, just like.
I've not seen a really decent level design since before Far Cry 2, since Time Splitters. I think Time Splitters was the last one where I thought, that's really actually an easy to use level design thing, and it gives you a lot of options. I think Far Cry 2 was the last one that after that had this.
It's pretty advanced, wasn't it? I know, like the Halo games sort of heralded as pretty awesome sort of level design with the Forge mode. But that's probably one of my major criticisms about Halo 4 is it's quite restrictive, I think, in terms of what you can actually build. You had a lot more freedom in Halo 3, I think. But,
fair enough.
Yeah. But to be honest, I'm not big on level design. I haven't got the patience to create something wonderful.
Yeah, I'll try doing a few levels on Little Big Planet 1 and 2, and it's the worst level ever. And it's like the dimensions all over the place. It's just not fun. It looks awful. It's just like some people must be like 100 hours, it seems like, how intricately designed they are.
It's like Minecraft. I love Minecraft, but I just haven't got the patience to build anything decent. Like, you should see my houses. They're just like weird little structures without roofs, and
mine are basically one step up above the mud hut.
Just a sort of a waist-high wall to defend yourself against zombies.
Fair enough. That's cool. Because Sophie's away at the moment, so we haven't been able to watch much TV the past week. Yeah. Because The Apprentice has started now, and I haven't seen the first 2 episodes yet, so I'm intrigued to see what the latest candidates are like. Well, they're arrogant, annoying, aggressive, and come up with the most stupid suggestions at times. But I'm looking forward to seeing that.
They have an interesting selection of eyebrows. I'm going to stick it out there, and I'm going to leave it there until you guys.
Eyebrows.
Eyebrows.
Yeah, interesting set of eyebrows.
That's the only thing I'm going to be looking at now.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said it. To be fair, you would be looking at them anyway, so it's not like I've said something that you wouldn't have noticed on your own accord. Trust me.
That is probably the only reason I'll watch it now.
Yeah, even if you just look up on like the BBC website and have a look at the candidates, and you would know just straight away. You'll be like, "Damn, Zara was right."
Eyebrow-tastic.
I wouldn't say tastic.
Eyebrow-trocious? I don't know.
Albatrocious. I don't know. That sounds weird. And I said it in like a Southern American accent. I don't know why.
Albatrocious.
Yeah. That's something like Herschel would say, surely, from The Walking Dead. Anyway, what were you saying, Martyn?
So there's been quite a few things. Hannibal started this week in the UK, and very much looking forward to seeing that. So the one thing we have been watching, we managed to finish, is the first series of Lie to Me, which has Tim Roth in it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a few years old now, and it's cancelled after 3 series, but yeah, we're really enjoying that, and it's worth a look because it's on Netflix. So.
Oh, I will have to look that up. Yeah, Tim Roth is a great actor. I always remember him from Reservoir Dogs. Yeah.
So, been quiet in the Newton household, all in all. But I've very nearly finished the first Dead Island.
Oh yeah.
One mission left on that, so I've played 17 hours into that game. It's amazing.
Wow.
I'm amazed.
Is that solo or is that in a party with people?
Oh, solo. Other people are annoying me in the game.
Oh right, really? Okay.
So I've gone solo basically.
Solo is a lonely experience in that game.
Yeah.
Kudos to you for getting through it solo.
Because every time I was doing a mission, when I got to a certain section of the map, I had to keep kicking the players.
Why?
Because they just kept walking the opposite direction.
Oh, right.
And it's like, well, you're not playing with me, you're antagonising my progress. So I kicked him and then I couldn't be bothered.
That's pretty cool. I've had limited sort of dalliances on Defiance with like other players. I know you do the big events with like hundreds of players, but occasionally people can dip into your mission. So because it's a big open world, you'll be doing a mission and it might happen that someone else is doing the same mission at the same time. So you can kind of aid each other a bit. But that's worked quite well because I was dying. I'd been gunned down, and I think you can revive yourself once or something, and then it recharges, and then after that you just crawl around until you die. Really, you just bleed out. It's like Gears of War. So I was bleeding out and kind of crawling around, and I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm just going to crawl over in that direction. Out of nowhere, this kind of lone ranger just appeared and came to my rescue and killed everyone, which was great.
Sweet.
But yeah, you didn't really get that kind of aid in the new Dead Island, though. Unfortunately, it was just kind of people throwing stuff from afar.
Yeah.
Driving cars.
Okay. That's the unfortunate thing. There's no accounting for what other people will be like in a multiplayer game online, and that can seriously naff up your experience.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, yeah.
Anyway, what films have people been watching?
Films.
I tell you what I haven't seen.
Let's go for a list of everything.
Everything in the world that I haven't seen. No, I still haven't gone to see Iron Man 3 yet. And I want to go and see it.
James, have you seen Iron Man 3?
I didn't actually. We're seeing it on the weekend. I know I said this last time, but we actually are seeing it this weekend.
I'm going to shut up then.
But
just give us a non-spoiler-esque kind of platform for us to go from, I'd say.
Can I give you a sound?
Yes.
Meh. That about sums it up, really.
You said the Kingsley was good. The
Kingsley, I can't give anything away about his character because it's such a fun twist with his character. But his character is both brilliantly threatening and also great comic relief as well.
Fair enough.
Within the space of one character. Yeah, very good combination. So he's great, but I have issues with pacing and with there not being enough RDJ comedy beats in it. So there you go. But go watch it; it'll be great, I'm sure. I'm
going to watch it. There's nothing stopping me.
Same.
There's nothing stopping me that's going to watch it. Robert Downey Jr. is all I need to know.
I literally don't have a choice in the matter. So it's going to happen.
Regardless of whether you like it or not. Although I think, wasn't it? What day is it today? Oh, today. So although when the podcast goes out,
it's Sunday.
Star Trek Into Darkness came out this weekend, didn't it? Technically.
Yeah.
It came out on the 9th, which was Thursday, because this is now Sunday. So it's out already.
Go see Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's such a name, isn't it? I was talking to someone at work about this, saying, I think it's a really unattractive name.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch. It's like something.
It's not like you picked it, though.
It's like cummerbund, isn't it? Yeah. Cummerbunds are weird words, but it's something that's necessary to keep one's waist in shape.
What?
Do you use a cummerbund, James?
No. We had one we went to a black tie thing. We had a cummerbund. That was good.
Cool.
I wasn't expecting it to take that turn. But okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
have you seen otters that look like Benedict Cumberbatch?
No, you mentioned this last time, and I haven't had a chance.
I was hoping someone would have done some homework. Actually, it
was on my top priority of the list of checking out otters that look like cummerbunds, but I just forgot about it by accident. I'm afraid.
Anyway, I don't want to give the impression. I don't want to be too harsh on going back to Iron Man 3. I don't want to be too harsh because I did enjoy myself. I did have a fun time, just not as much fun as I was expecting. So might be an expectation thing because again, I love Robert Downey Jr. and I think he's a great actor. So there you go.
Okay. Well, have you seen anything that you have really enjoyed, Mike? More than
yes, I have. Dredd, the remake of Judge Dredd with Carl Urban. Yeah, was 90 minutes, I think, of it was just brilliant. It was all takes place in one tower block where they basically go to investigate these murders and they get locked in there and he has to fight his way through to the top. And very little characterization, very little, it's straight ahead action, but it really does work in this movie because Dredd's character is very much like gruff and monotone and he is the law, but you see his character through the rookie that goes with him, the psychic Judge Anderson, who is played by Olivia Thirlby. I think she was in Juno. She played the best friend in Juno. But anyway, she's brilliant. The violence is excellent. The slow-mo, which can be overused in some films, is actually really gorgeous and actually weirdly makes some of the violence look quite beautiful, which is quite unsettling.
It's unexpected from a Dredd film, yeah.
Yeah, it's got quite an art house. I'm not going to say art house is too strong, but some of the sections, especially where you've got vivid colours and stuff, when there's a slow-mo scene where they're taking the drug, because basically slow-mo slows time down to like 1,000th or whatever. I'm probably exaggerating, but makes things go really slowly anyway. So those scenes they get to play with being a bit art housey. But it is a very straight up action movie. It's people shooting a bunch of other people. Go see it. It's good. Actually, don't go see it because it's not out anymore, but get the Blu-ray or the DVD.
Okay, that's cool. So, we've all been quite busy, Ben, so on to the next feature. Is it ever popular singing round?
Silence.
Yeah,
I haven't done 80s glam. I've just gone 80s general.
Okay.
I hope it hasn't upset too many fans.
I think you should be more specific for one, Marty. I think you should have an 80s glam between 1984 and 1987.
Or just do craft work. That would be funny.
I'll do 90s acid house next time or something like that.
I'm going to be ill that week.
That's all right. Okay, so hang on. I've got 4 songs, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've actually got 5. I've gone all out. It's up to you. I'll let you stop me when you've had enough.
We'll keep one in case we need a tiebreaker.
Okay.
That's
so
true.
Select your least favourite as your tiebreaker.
Okay. Well, Zoe, if you keep track of however you keep track of this score.
I've got my post-it and I've got my pen. I'm good to go.
Okay.
Wonderful. Right, so the name and the artist, as always. Just prepare.
Run up.
Yeah, right. Oh, sorry. You right, Mike?
Yeah, no, just wondering if you're running up through the scales first, but yeah, you go for it.
Yeah, right. I got to know your name. Well, and I could trace your number, baby. All I know is that to me, you like you're lots of fun. Open up your loving arms. I want some.
Spin me round and round.
Yeah, but I can't remember the name.
I can't remember the back.
I got nothing, guys.
Is it? It's not. I want to say Culture Club, but I don't think that's right.
No,
it's the other one.
Dead or Alive.
It's the other one. I knew it. I always get them confused.
The other one.
I always get them confused. I don't know why. Culture Club and Dead or Alive. I'm not sure.
Kind of a similar sound, sort of.
Yeah.
It's 80s.
The next one. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces.
Mad World by someone. Do I get half a point for that? Mad World?
If no one else guesses the entire thing, then I'll give you the entire point.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's Mad World by...
James has got Tears for Fears.
Sweet. Don't know.
we'll just give that to Michael. There we go.
Yeah, I do.
Next one. Sometimes you're better off dead. There's a gun in your hand and it's pointing at your head. You think you're mad.
Pet Shop Boys, West End Girls.
Chairs and kicking out tables.
Yeah.
You obviously like the Pet Shop Boys.
Johnny does. So I have.
They've got weird eyebrows too.
And hats.
I've never really looked at Neil Tennant's forehead too much. Or his eyebrow situation.
It's like he's got the tape, the electrical tape, the thick. Well, it's about a centimetre thick, and like it's black, tape. Shiny stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like he's got those on his eyebrows. Those and his eyebrows. But anyway,
I'll do one. I'll do one more. It's you're getting too excited. I can tell.
Fever pitch.
The silence is deafening. Right. How does it feel to treat me like you do?
Blue Monday by New Order.
Yeah.
Well, Michael knows it's 80.
That's because he potentially was born then, but he can't remember.
I think so. Yeah. I think I just
don't know if he was born.
I think I just caught the tail end of the 80s. I think I was probably about 1. But I don't know.
You could have been like 5. You could have been 7. We don't know actually how old you are. But
there's no way of finding out either. That's the sad thing.
That is the sad thing.
You're an enigma, Michael.
I am. I'm like a Time Lord.
You are, in many ways.
A Time Lord that won this week's music quiz.
Yeah.
A round of applause for Michael.
That's a new title for you.
So, right, the big discussion point this week, chaps and chapess.
Okay.
That's me, by the way.
Popular things that you don't like. It can be popular as in commercially or popular as in critically.
Uh-huh.
It's boards open to anything, film, games, TV.
Oh, right. I was just going to put talking to other people, but it has to be. Okay. Fair enough.
Being sociable, yeah.
Being sociable. Ugh.
So you sound like Sheldon from A Big Bang Theory there. Other people get in your way of your life.
Bazinga.
But I just like it things off.
Yeah, go
on. Yes, I've decided after playing more Halo with James that I really don't like Halo.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it was coming.
I see
maybe
you were
who you were playing with. It might have been who you were playing with, though. So
no, it's not. It's this campaign.
What are you saying, Zara?
I could take that.
You know exactly what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying.
How I feel about Halo is imagine the same that people feel who don't like Bioshock. It's like you feel like you're supposed to like some games.
Yeah.
And everything about Halo I don't like. I know technically it's good in quite a few areas, but the actual story, the characters, the gameplay, it just doesn't resonate with me.
See, I really like Halo. I mean, I used to kind of wonder about the storyline. I think they've tightened it up a bit in the last couple of titles, but I think certainly in the first 2, it was a bit. I don't know. I thought I was the only one that didn't know what was going on, and then I spoke to a few people and they said, "No, we don't know what's going on either. We just play X. It's good." So I read a synopsis, and it all sort of suddenly became clear. But then I thought you probably shouldn't need to read about a game. You should probably just be able to play it and know what's going on. But then, maybe I'm dumb. But I don't know. I think the new Halo, it's got a lot going for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad game at all. It's a perfectly very good game. It's just I don't like playing it really.
Yeah.
I've decided. I've played.
Is it sort of the mechanics, like the shooting that doesn't have a sort of precision aim, or the driving, or
everything? Oh, I hate the driving in it.
Yeah, the driving.
And at the end of every game, most rubbish driving sections are committed to code. It's the most boring aspect.
What about the Death Star trench run in the new one? That was pretty cool.
Oh no, you say that.
Bite.
It's hard to put into words because when something's perfectly good, but you just don't like it. There's no.
Yeah.
reason as such. I don't like it.
It's just a vibe.
It's just a vibe.
Just a vibe.
I just don't like the essence of Halo. I don't enjoy the essence of Halo.
Halo harshes your buzz, Marty. You don't like the vibe. Okay, that's what we've established. I haven't played enough of Halo to comment really, because I think I've played about half an hour of it. Because I never had the console that was on, because it was Xbox exclusive to start with, wasn't it? The first Xbox.
Yeah.
Or no one that I knew had it. I think so. But the one game, and this is probably almost sacrilege to hear from a number of people, that I never ever got into was Half-Life.
Ooh,
and
controversial.
Yeah, it's a bit of a controversial one. I do have the orange box. So I've got all of like the Half-Life stuff, but I can sort of see how someone would see my point of view, because I love the original Deus Ex, which came out, and it looks like it's made of bits of old string because it's got really poor graphics, but it's a fantastic game. And like, I lent it to someone and I said, look, this is the best game. This is the father of open-ended games. Have a play. And they were like, oh, I didn't really like it. And I was like, you dick. But that's the way I feel about Half-Life. I can't. There's. If I'd have played it when it came out, I think I would have absolutely loved it. I think
sometimes because it was a nostalgia factor, isn't it?
Yeah, and also it's a piece. Their games have come after it that have sort of supplanted it in terms of they've done what Half-Life have done, but they've done better. So you know how the movie John Carpenter of Mars, everyone ripped into it basically. But it's because it was based on the very first sci-fi book that was ever written. So everything that's in John Carpenter of Mars has either been done before by people that have ripped it off, or it's been done better by people, after it. I think the same is true possibly of Half-Life now, which is why I'm hoping they make a new Half-Life game and they keep some of what the original's got, but they modernise it as well at the same time, which again, I suppose is going to sound like anathema to people who are original fans of Half-Life, but I do think there are certain things that need to be tweaked about it.
Yeah,
because I do.
It has aged badly, the first in terms of graphics, but at the time, the AI mechanics of it was revolutionary.
Yes.
I remember playing on PC like 97. It's like, so what your point, Mike, is if you watch modern horror films, then go and watch Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, they look cliched because it's the same as every single film.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, at the time, it was the very first to do it, and every film afterwards copies it to an extent.
It's like, because I know
it is a bit like,
because I get the idea about the AI that you're going on about, because it's like, oh, I've been spotted by a group and they're actually they're going to follow me and they're not going to forget about me after 5 minutes, and I am going to have to run and gun and I thought that was brilliant, but I've already had that in all sorts of other different games. It's because Half-Life did it first, so maybe I'm not, my mind is not giving it the credit that it should do. But
the other thing is, like, the Half-Lives have had some of the pretty sort of, I guess originally some of the major sort of set pieces in action, and really sort of set the scene for, not using cutscenes to tell a story, and seeing everything through the eyes of a protagonist and making you kind of feel attached to that character, even though he doesn't speak or he doesn't, can't really see much about him apart from
which again, if you look at something like Fallout, you can see the through line completely, because Fallout has a similar sort of thing. You don't get cutscene after cutscene. Most of it is seen through your character's eyes, even though you don't really see your character. So
and same as like BioShock, and it was kind of revolutionary at the time. And I think, as you say, a lot of other games have kind of seen that and thought, wow, that's the way to engage a player. That's what we want. And they've done it, and they've probably done it better as well and polished it over as well. But I think I just came in at the wrong time, if anything. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying that I couldn't get into it because I'd probably experienced it done in a more polished and sort of better fashion.
Well, I've got a solution for you, Mike. There's people remade the game, the Black Mesa version.
Ooh.
I think it's free to download, but they've completely updated the graphics. They've trimmed the worst bits of the original game and put some new bits too. So you should go and try that.
Yeah, I will.
They've modernised it.
I'm more than happy to give it a go because it's been a while since I played it. But love Team Fortress and love Portal as well. So yeah,
Fair enough. That's good. Very good choice.
Thank you.
That is a good choice.
Well, unfortunately, a good choice. I wish you did love the game. But, very good one you brought to the table, Michael.
Yeah.
What about you, James? What do you like?
Mine's probably not as controversial, but I know a lot of people love it, and I know it's got a lot of fans in the gaming community. But my game that I am not keen on is Saints Row and Saints Row 2 and Saints Row 3.
And probably
Saints Row 4.
Yeah.
No, the games never gelled with me, really. They just, from the outset, they felt to me as kind of a poor man's GTA. The characters seemed lifeless and shallow, and there was too much silliness. Which there's a time and a place for silliness, and Vice City was a bit silly, and yeah. No, but yeah, a little bit too much. Yeah. I didn't like it.
For me, what I liked about Saints Row was the silliness, because I'd just come off the back of playing GTA. I think it's 4, the one where you play as Niko Bellic.
Yeah.
And the one that has you actually do a mission where you actually have to drive normally through traffic. Don't you do
that anyway?
Exactly, yeah.
If driving over hookers is normal, then yes.
But it just felt so dull and lifeless and boring and not engaging. Like, because Nico's obviously a good guy, but he's not charismatic. You don't imagine, he's coming into the room, hey, Nico's here, the party's started. Not really that kind of character. Like I was say, the guy from Tommy Vercetti, he was kind of like a guy's guy, wasn't he? He was like a, hey, Tommy's here kind of thing. But so what I liked straight away about Saints Row is, sorry, I monopolised this bit, but was the silliness straight away. It was like, I can weave through traffic while listening to, classical music, or I can do
Bonnie Tyler.
Yeah, Bonnie Tyler, or I can make my character have a sex change halfway through the game, or I can, do whatever the hell you want. But I would say it's not a game that you play from start to finish, like as a serious endeavor. Like, I'm going to finish this thing all the way through. It's like a dip in, dip out, do some silly.
Yeah. I mean, I dipped in, I dipped out, but I never dipped back in again. Yeah, I like that it had sort of huge customization options. You could make your character look like you, which I did.
Yeah.
But I still didn't like the guy. I couldn't get on with him, even though he was effectively
yeah.
Now I know how everyone else feels, but
I really liked. I've only played the third one, and it was actually my very first review for PopBucket. Actually,
was it?
Was it the second one? I think it was the first one. I gave it 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
and I had a real good blast with it, and I can't wait for the fourth one either. I'm really looking forward to the fourth game. Have you heard? You play as the President of the United States of America.
Ooh.
Aliens are invading. You've got superpowers as a president. And you go around shooting aliens with dubstep guns. And
you can already hear Grandad going, That's James, by the way, Grandad.
You were shooting Werther's original bullets at them there.
Yeah. Oh, I might like that.
Oh, my cup of tea. Well, I mean, I enjoyed Crackdown. Crackdown was a good one. I
didn't enjoy that.
Crackdown. Yeah, but that had some silliness. And you had superpowers. You were like a Hulk. You could jump up on top of buildings and stuff and punch people miles. That was kind of cool. But there was a seriousness about it. It had a good balance. And no Werther's originals.
So what you're trying to say, James, is you need some seriousness.
I need some seriousness.
Yeah.
You need some seriousness to balance.
What we need, James, is we need Lars von Trier to start making games. Like really serious dogma games. Be awesome. I'll get you the pre-order copy.
I'd like the sound of that. But so Saints Row is mine.
So Zara, you must have something.
I've got a couple, actually.
Ooh. Controversial?
But they're not games, though. It's TV and film I looked at instead. The first one I'm going to talk about is How I Met Your Mother, because I'm just not interested at how they met their mother, to be honest. I'm just not interested. My friend was talking about it. He watches it religiously, I think.
Yeah.
And he was like, you need to watch it. They're really funny, blah, blah, blah. And because he just babbled on about it for so long, I thought, okay, I'll watch like season 1. Yeah, he lent me season 1, and I was thinking, oh my god, I can't even get through season 1. I was thinking this is horrific. The character, I didn't like any of the characters. I think the only one that I liked was Neil Patrick Harris's character.
Oh yeah.
Barney, I think his name is.
Yeah, Barney, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, the rest of them really got on my nerves. So the people who it was about is this Ted and this Robin, I assume, was just so irritating that I couldn't get through season 1. The fact there's like 9 seasons now and no one knows still how they met their mother. I'm just not interested.
I was going to ask you, what is the how? Because I've seen a couple of episodes, but what is the How I Met Your Mother bit about?
I think it's basically that Ted guy. He's trying to explain to his children, which is how it starts in season 1, how he met their mother, basically, which is obviously the title.
Right.
And it just goes through. So he's obviously telling the story of across 9 freaking seasons, and still no one knows. So I was talking to someone about it the other day and said, yeah, well, the season 101 just finished and they opened the door but they didn't show who it was. It's like, oh well, that's really going to make me want to watch 100 seasons later. It's just really annoying.
I find the main source of your era here, I-R-E, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, is the characters themselves, Zara. You just found them really irritating. Because I have to admit, I dropped in for an episode or so just to see what it's about, because it's like constantly trailed on E4, is it? I think the shows it, whatever.
Yeah.
And I just saw the episode and I just thought, like you, I thought, oh, the Barney guy's quite funny, but the rest of them were like prattling on about various things, and I was like, I'm just not interested. Yeah, it's not even like Friends, where you're like, I want to know what X is going to say to Y, even though I know the plot's going to be a bunch of nonsense. Oh, it's going to be entertaining nonsense. This I just didn't feel the thing about
Friends, isn't it? This sort of some of the situations were kind of that would probably never happen, but the characters were likable and they did work together.
Yeah. But whereas I didn't feel the same for How I Met Your Mother. This is not a group of people I'd like to spend time with, if you know.
Yeah, I know a few people would like it. I've never had the desire to watch that show. But I think like How I Met Your Mother, there's 2 options. It's either a really boring story or one not fit for public consumption. Probably for a lot of cases.
It's just rubbish, Martyn. It's just rubbish. It's long, drawn out rubbish is what it is. And I'll tell you what annoyed me even more. So the girl Robin in it that I really don't like, I just want to kill most of the time.
Is that the Canadian girl, or is that the other one, the Alison?
Willow from Buffy.
From Buffy, yeah.
Her name
Alison
is
Hannigan?
Kobe Smulders.
Oh, the Canadian girl, yeah.
Yeah, she's from Canada, and I always found it really annoying when she popped up in the Avengers, and I was like, oh my god! I was watching it thinking, and I turned around to who I was with, and I was like, I can't believe it. Literally, that's all I said, and then I just sat there in a huff for the rest of the film.
How I Met Your Mother ruined the Avengers for you.
Yeah, wow. Well, I did like the Avengers, but I just her face. She's not in it for a huge deal of it, but just her face irritates me. And I was like,
before you explode, what's your next choice?
My next choice is it might not translate for you guys because it's more of a girl thing than anything. But I think I mentioned it before. But Dirty Dancing, I just.
I don't
dig that.
I've seen it, but I don't think about that film at all.
But I think it might be a girl thing. That's what I'm saying. So I think I'd be worried if you guys were like, "That's the best film I think I've ever seen." I'd be worried if you guys said that. But I think being a girl, which I am, by the way, Thanks
for clarifying. Contrary to popular belief, you can confirm.
We can confirm. It says so on my birthday.
So I guess because you were going on about, like, if I remember right, Zara, you said like everyone was going, "Oh, you have to see it. You have to see it."
Yeah. And then when I watched it, I was like, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, what did you think?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's all right." And they're like, "Oh my god, how could you not love it? Patrick Swayze." And I was like.
People have like dirty dancing parties and stuff.
Yeah, like, that I find offensive. I find that offensive. Some people having dirty dancing parties because they don't do any dirty dancing in it. In terms of the people, they are just watching dirty dancing.
It's pretty clean.
It's not what I say at Tiger and Croydon, that's for sure. But
that's slightly different.
Grinding.
But I think, and the third one, just to go into a bit of a rant that I don't like about stuff, is Grease. as much as I love John Travolta, and he does look cute in them tight little pants, I just can't. I can't do it. It's so boring. I think Olivia Newton-John is just, bleh. And I just don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Well, yeah, I like Grease, but the only sort of girly film, so to speak, I like is Mean Girls.
Oh, I love Mean Girls.
And the only reason is because it's written by the only female comic I like, and that's Tina Fey.
Yeah,
she's the only woman I actually find funny.
Yeah.
And she done a good job writing it. Yeah. I know she adapted it from a book.
Lindsay Lohan's pretty cool in that as well.
Yeah.
I think that was the last film she was good in.
That's true.
The last film she was good in, definitely.
I just find it funny, the mathletes and all the little jokes. It's well I like because I like 30 Rock.
Yeah, they've got the kind of the schoolyard archetypes down really well.
Yeah, I could quote that until my mind is blown out of its face. I could quote it all the time, all day, every day. And do you know what? In London, I think it's at the Prince Charles Theatre, every few months they have a Mean Girls quote along where you can go along and like everyone just starts quoting stuff when it comes on in the film. So it is actually really interesting to go to. You might if missus want to check it out and you want to have a night out, it's always interesting to go. It's quite a laugh as well. I think at first everyone was a bit like, oh, I don't know, because normally when you go to the cinema, everyone's like, shut up, stop talking and stuff. Whereas this time you're encouraged to say quotes as it comes up and stuff. So I think everyone was a little bit like, but then by like 20 minutes into the film, everyone's just laughing and
they're well into
quoting.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny you should. I was just going to say it's funny you should bring up Grease because I didn't mind Grease. I quite liked some of the songs in it. I thought they were quite funny and quite rude as well for music if you actually listen to lyrics. But the one musical that I really didn't like, because I thought I was going to like, because people were saying, it's about celebrity culture. It's really dark. It's relevant to our times. And they were, selling it to me like that, was Chicago. And Chicago I did not go for at all. It's the one with Renee Zellweger, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Richard Gere. Yeah. And it's kind of all about... the razzle-dazzle of celebrity. And the songs just felt flat. It's just,
Oh, he's gone.
Are you eating, Martyn?
It's not me.
No, that's James's hair brushing up against his microphone.
Right. Really?
I was going to say, the songs just felt...
I can't hear anything.
It's those dreadlocks. You've got to get one of those dreadlocks, James. Just get grade 1 all over.
What's a grade 1?
Not what you've got, that's for sure.
Number 1, yeah. No, never.
But anyway, so you were saying about Chicago. Do you know what? My friend actually bought Chicago for me on DVD.
Yeah.
And she said, you need to watch it at some point. I can't believe you haven't seen it. Yeah. That was 4 years ago, I think. And I still haven't watched it. It's still in cellophane on the shelf.
No great loss, to be honest.
I've never seen it, actually. I think it's,
maybe I'll lend you my copy, James.
Yeah, and then I can not ever watch it.
For 4 years.
The thing is, it claims to be like a really serious music, like a musical where it's got a bit of seriousness to it. But the point is about people in show business, and that show business helps you get away with things you couldn't get away with otherwise. Okay, fair enough. That's one point, but that's the only point that there seems to be, and it's stretched throughout the whole movie. And it's constantly referenced on. And also, I don't buy Renee Zellweger as a attractive person. I know this might sound harsh, but she is constantly characters refer to her of, whoa, she's hot. I'm like, what universe are you living in?
She's Bridget Jones. No one thinks Bridget Jones is hot.
Exactly. And she's like...
That's why that was so popular as that, I think.
Yeah, because she was an every woman character in that, wasn't she?
She was,
Yeah.
Although Sophie gets really annoyed about that because they show on the scale she weighs like 10 stone and they keep going on about how fat she is or something like that.
Yeah.
So, well, that's a whole wider range issue.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that because otherwise...
Yeah, that's social commentary.
But anyway, for me, that's the only film for me that I could think of off the top of my head that I didn't enjoy as much as everyone else does. The only other thing I'll say is with blockbuster films, I tend to be very much... I kind of hate a lot of action movies. I find myself drifting off in the middle of action movies these days. Anything by Michael Bay kind of turns me off straight away.
Oh, you're not a real man, Michael, are you?
You're getting old.
I love shit blowing up, but I also like a plot as well. And
Isn't Michael Bay something to do with Blood Dragon? I'm sure they consulted with Michael Bay.
Oh God, don't tell me that.
They did, honestly.
I'm not going to buy it now, James. Look what you've done.
No, Ubisoft are going to be pissed at me.
The first, yeah, that's all their custom gone.
Yeah.
No, like the first Transformers movie, I really enjoyed because I actually liked Shia LaBeouf in that. I thought he had a great. Everyone said he had sort of a Woody Allen quality as like the nerdy every guy, and yeah, he was all right in that. And there was enough of a kind of plot to keep me interested in like human moments as well. And then I went to go and see 2 off the back of that, and that was just awful. And then I went to go and see 3 because I'm an idiot. And that was even worse. So anything with Michael Bay now, I kind of tend to steer well clear of. So I don't know if that's controversial or not. I don't know, because I know they're popular, but I know they're not critically popular, if you know what I mean. So I'm not sure.
We're making a 4th one, so you can with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I was going to say, it hasn't got Shia LaBeouf in this one. I think.
Well, that's no bad thing, really, because although I liked him in the first one, I don't know if it's his fault or if it's the script's fault, but he comes across as very unlikable in 2 and 3. Because in the first one,
just to say, it might have been when he started going off his rocker in his personal life, like outside of his working environment. So maybe that has something to do with it.
I haven't really read quite a lot about obviously him going a little bit OTT, but maybe that has something to do with it. But like, I just think the character was written a lot less appealing. Like in the first one, you're kind of rooting for him because you want him to get the girl, and he seems like a nice enough guy. And then the second one, he's whining the whole time about the responsibility of what's being involved with this bigger plot is. And then in the third one, he's just a massive douche because he's got this amazingly attractive girlfriend. He's got a potential job, but all he does the whole time is, whine and complain. So
Shia LaDouche.
There you go. So yeah, but like I said, I don't think it's his fault. I think it's the poor scripting, really.
Yeah, but to say, because when I watched Lawless that came out last year, I think this is probably when it hit its peak of Shia LaBeouf going a little bit crazy because he started turning up to set drunk and all that kind of stuff. There was a lot of reports of him, being really unprofessional and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I can't see it in the film itself because I really enjoyed that film. But
yeah, so did I. Yeah.
But apparently
Nick Cave
he's
did
just
the soundtrack, didn't he?
He did. Yeah. I really enjoyed Lawless, although I found Guy Pearce a bit weird in that. I think that's the point. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know, but I just don't know. Like, it's like, sometimes an actor makes a choice, don't they? They go, right, I'm going to go this way with the character. And without giving too much away, he made the choice and he really committed. He like there's the line of commitment. He went over that line, past the line, into the tundra, off into the jungle, way off there.
That's called dedication.
That's called dedication or insanity, as it's otherwise known. So I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed his performance, but I found it also distracting at the same time. So I was like, wow, I'm really having fun watching him, but at the same time, this feels like a performance from another movie, if you know what I mean? Like tonally. The rest of the movie is one tone, and Guy Pearce's performance is a completely another tone. But apart from that, like I said, I really enjoyed the movie as well. I thought it was good, especially like the Nick Cave soundtrack has a lot of like 1970s like new wave and punk songs done in a bluegrass roots style, which was really quite clever and inventive.
He's done some really good soundtracks recently for films. I don't know if you've seen The Proposition with Ray Winston. That one, that was one of my favourites, I think, in terms of soundtrack. But
Ray Winston,
good old Nick.
Yeah. Have we given Martyn a chance to moan? I don't think we have we?
Yeah.
A little Halo moan.
I've moaned.
Oh, it's Halo moan, yes. But film-wise, Martyn, is there anything film-wise that you can't stand?
Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and stuff like that. But
have you watched them all?
I've whinged about them before.
Yeah,
in the first podcast about fantasy generally.
You did a bit of Harry Potter whinging, and then you were bigging up Iron Man, if I recall.
So I won't go on. I've whinged enough about them, so I'll wrap it up now. But what I want is the listeners at home to tweet us at PopBucket UK to let us know what popular things that they don't like, or to tell us we're wrong. Michael's wrong not liking Half-Life, I'm wrong for not liking. Halo, I'm sure some people might get annoyed with us on that on the internet.
Hey ho.
But we'd like to hear what you don't like. And I've decided the next podcast we're going to flip the conversation and for unpopular things that we do really like.
Oh.
So things that haven't sold well or things that got slated in reviews and things that we personally enjoy. So
that's the Dredd movie again for me then.
Yeah, that's Defiance as well.
Because no one came to see it, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Okay, well, that's good. So I think, that's an interesting conversation we had today, everyone.
It's all right.
So in that note, it's goodbye from myself, goodbye from Michael.
Goodbye.
Zara.
Bye-bye.
And James.
See ya.
Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
They're up.
See, Michael, that was your fault that I had to...